At this church in Tampa, Florida, the Pentecostal congregation is celebrating the Lord in a lively style. But the pastor here does something out of the ordinary for a church.
Have other preachers criticized you? Much. I guess you're saying much. Much.
Reverend Charles Kennedy sometimes uses a book that is not the good book.
It will fit anybody if they would just take the time to read it.
The book is called The Way to Happiness. It's written by L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the Church of Scientology.
Do you think what he says contradicts the religion of Jesus Christ?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, no.
The happiness or unhappiness of others you could name is important to you. Without too much trouble, using this book, you can help them survive and lead happier lives.
Reverend Kennedy says the book and many Scientology programs help solve real-life problems for people at inner-city churches like his.
One thing that I took out of Scientology was an excellent spirit.
Reverend Kennedy's Glorious Church of God in Christ even operates an after-school program for children using educational ideas derived from Scientology. The pastor's daughter is an instructor.
We say this all the time, and I don't know if my father said it, but I will, Pentecostal Scientologists. That's what we are.
A Pentecostal Scientologist? That's not a term you'll hear every day.
My God!
Scientologists provide free materials to Reverend Kennedy's church and others across the country. The international spiritual headquarters of the Church of Scientology are in this old hotel in nearby Clearwater, Florida. We wanted to ask the church top brass if they hope to recruit new members with these types of relationships. But church officials are often quite skittish about going on camera, and this story is no exception. So the church won't comment. But Rick Ross, who carefully tracks what he calls the cult of Scientology, did.
Their hope, that is the Scientologists, is that through these programs people will become more interested in L. Ron Hubbard and what else Mr. Hubbard had to offer. And this will lead them eventually to Scientology.
Scientology draws extra attention because of its celebrity members and its unusual precepts. Believers recognize a supreme being, but do not worship God. Very different from Christianity. But the handful of churches we found that are using Scientology techniques say they don't sacrifice their own religious ideas.
Getting people off drugs, I would say a 70 to 80% success rate.
Reverend Jerry McLaughlin preaches at the Wayman Chapel AME Church in Houston. He uses one of L. Ron Hubbard's programs to help drug addicts.
I'm looking for the solutions, and the people that I help, they don't ask me who L. Ron Hubbard is. You know who they ask me? You know what they say? Thank God.
L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction writer. Some of these programs seem like fiction science to me.
These churches stress the Lord keeps top billing.
This is part of what we can do.
But L. Ron Hubbard now gets an honorable mention. Gary Tuckman, CNN, Tampa, Florida.